Hello guys.
Hi guys.
Today we're doing a show from another location than what usually we're doing, and it's all about our films, our feature films basically. I've worked on many feature films, but usually worked as an animator, special effects, supervisor, that kind of stuff. Like I was kind of more, part of the crew of like a bigger project. But today, we want to talk about the feature films that we actually produced. You want to maybe, because I think you're covered by the mic. I know it's okay here.
My pretty face is covered. Okay, I can move to the side.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, so like I said, we've produced like our film that we actually made was feature film. We've done many short films, but only done one feature film. And the pictures that you guys saw at the beginning, those were from like the making of that film. And that film was called
Under Black Skies.
Yeah, which was the original title was All Men.
There's a whole story about the title.
Well, yeah, I mean, originally I was gonna say All Men Sweat. Well, there's a behind-the-scenes little video that we did, which we might, I don't know, if we feel brave enough, one day maybe we'll put it up on YouTube. But it's called All Men Sweat, which is the behind-the-scenes, and it was kind of making fun of the original title because the original working title of the film was All Men Die. And then, like I said, and the making of the film.
We are going through a rough period in our lives, actually. So it was kind of maybe influenced by this.
What do you mean?
We used this temp.
Well, but
somebody in our family passed away, so that's why.
Oh, okay, yeah. But no, I'm saying the All Men Sweat. The reason why we came up with that is because it was the filming of the film was pretty funny, right? Everybody was just like, we had these. A lot of it was authentic, actually, uniforms, like it was a World War II film and authentic uniforms and that kind of stuff. But it was, here, let me show you guys some that you can kind of see some of the making of. So you can see this is our main actor here, Vince Salonia, and he was wearing this really thick kind of a jacket, and even like basically it's taking place in German occupied France, right?
Right, yeah.
Or Nazi occupied. And anyways, and it was difficult filming because it was super hot the whole time that we were filming, and the actors had to wear these really thick wool kind of uniforms and that kind of stuff. So that's the reason why. This is me here putting on, doing makeup tests. As you can see, this is back in 2001. And just basically seeing if this looks kind of realistic, seeing if I look like I'm actually beaten up and stuff, and just acting like an idiot. And here's our actor already getting makeup on the day of the like basically when we were filming the movie. How long did it take us to film this?
About I mean, it was like most of it was in 2 weeks, but then a part of that probably, if you added up all the other days, maybe another 10 days.
This is here's like a set. You can see partial, just the front of a house, because we couldn't afford to build the whole thing. So we built this house, and you enter
in our backyard, right?
Yeah.
We weren't really telling the neighbors what we were up to. So one night we turned the lights on because we had a night shoot, and we turned the lights on.
And we set up this fake house facade, and everybody was like, "What's going on?" This is our neighbor's suntanning. You can see here. This is at night when we were shooting, and then the rest of the house was done digitally, right? But yeah, that's kind of how we did it. So maybe we can talk more about, I guess, the making of the film. But we did the film. We finished it in 2003, I believe. We were shooting, I think, 2002.
We shot it shot it 2002, summer of 2002, and like mostly was finished by the end of 2003. And then we had our big premiere in 2004 at the Worldwide Film Festival, the World Film Festival in Montreal. So it's one of the bigger festivals in Canada here.
And we actually got, it
was a big deal for us.
There was a lot of people that actually showed up, so we were happy. I remember we did posters and all that stuff, and got all the people to come to the premiere, and we actually were written, I think, in one of the few movies that got reviewed that year, in the Montreal Gazette, right?
Well, for sure, it was. We were starting out. This was
so
like
it was a big deal for us, yeah.
It was like our film school movie, but at the same time, it was exciting to be in festivals. And
as a background kind of info, that we shot it on film. I know some of you guys were already kind of asking here, and show you here again. You can see this is one of the sets that we actually built here, where we are
here.
Right.
That was actually the room where we are sitting right now.
Yeah, where we're streaming from right now. We built this. We built this kind of a movie set, which again had all these movable walls, which was good. And you can see the camera there. It was just the Auray, I think SR1, if I remember correctly. And we had 400 foot mags, and you know, remember our motor died halfway through the filming. Had to replace the motor, but it's a old film camera, 60 millimeter, kind of newsreel, and here's a bunch of German or actors or Nazis hanging out in front of the house. And I remember we had some neighbors concerned because again we didn't tell anybody in the neighborhood that we're gonna be making a film in the basement. Basically, that was the set that was in the basement, and so. I think some people maybe thought we had some like neo-Nazi gatherings or something because people were just hanging out in these uniforms. Here's the other actors kind of hanging out, just goofing off. Yeah, it was fun filming this movie. We shot it, like I said, on the film 16 millimeter because at that time, which was 2002, there was really no good affordable HD camera. So that's the reason why we shot it. There were video like SD, but that just looked horrible. And as far as HD, there was only the Sony F900, and that was super expensive. It was impossible almost to rent, and also, you know, so that's something for indie filmmakers. So that's why we decided to do it on film, and I think we managed to get good quality because of that. Yeah, and we actually have one of the film here with us. So you guys can see the camera here. That's how this camera is operating, and my brother is helping me. And yeah, here's this.
So we got, I think, 12 of these boxes, the whole film, and it was we didn't shoot that much footage.
They're like pizza boxes.
Pizza boxes, yeah.
Basically, when you shoot on film, or at least back in the day, that's how it was. You'd go to the lab, you develop your. All right, having problems, guys. Here. Let me see if I can get this thing working again.
And on Facebook, we'll be able to do the same.
Yes, we'll see. Let's take I don't know if you guys can see us again. We had some problem with the computer, basically just shut down on us. And yeah, I have no idea if it's. Let's see. I believe the stream is still going, so yeah. Alright guys, so we're back, at least here, and I think on Facebook too. Yeah, let's see here. So bear with us guys, apologies for the. That we're on location, we had to do stuff on the laptop, and just so happens that our laptop is giving us problems now. So, if I'm just gonna go on Facebook, see if it's thing. I guess it looks like it's still going. So, anyways, we're back here.
For those of you who stayed around, thank you, and we'll try to answer all of your questions.
Yeah, I mean it's.
It's playing reintro again. People are saying. Right?
No, it's playing the stills. Yeah, no, that's what it was. But anyways, so
let's get to the important points, I guess. And if you guys have any questions, let us know. So before, in case this happens again, we'll want to cover all the things we wanted to cover today.
Anyways, this is the one of the film rolls from the film. So like I said, we shot it on film. We're gonna be we're actually planning to rescan all the negatives before they completely fade, because film negatives do go bad over time. So we're gonna try to rescan these and we're using a do-it-yourself technique. So I'm gonna have a bunch of videos showing the whole process, like how what I had to get and how I'm gonna do this and all that stuff. So so hopefully that all works well, and you guys can follow and see kind of what we're doing. But yeah, so talking about our film, maybe here I'll show you guys again some behind the scenes. I'm like kind of hoping that nothing goes bad again, but anyways, here's our behind the scenes. You can see this is me testing different costumes for the film. So like any film, I would say, you have to get ready. And this, even though this was our first feature film, we did a bunch of short films before that. And because of that, I think we had enough experience where, we for sure learned a lot on this film. But we also, like I said, we also I was at least prepared, because I had a lot of experience shooting already or working on feature films as a visual effects an animator and being on set of like big budget films, so I could see how things were done, and I kind of figured out how we could do it for a lower budget, right? And that's how we ended up doing this film. And since then, we've been, we've been waiting for the right project, right? Deciding what it is that we're actually gonna do, like what's gonna be our next feature film, because we've continued since then doing whether it's like YouTube videos or just doing short films. And so we continued. We did a lot of short films, but we finally, I think we're finally ready to.
For years we've been itching to make another film, right?
Yeah.
It's just has to make sense in terms of there always have been other projects for us, so it's always like this trade-off, and do you want to put aside so much time to do your own project, right? And financially and just overall whether it makes sense to do that, and but it's always so we're always looking at we've been itching for years, and I guess I think we feel like it's the right time to make another movie where we are financing it, and we are not really we're not like working with any big producer or anything like that. We just want to make a movie where basically we are in control of a lot of the elements, so that we can share those with you, like, because that's one of the problems. Like when we did other films, we cannot really then usually the producers are not okay with us showing the content of those films, right? So that's why we are the producers, so we can make those decisions, and we can share all this stuff with you, like how we pre-production, how the whole shoot, and all the elements, right? That's
so what is the next film we're doing?
Yeah, so it's going to be a comedy, much different than
comedy, and I think it's going to be good for doing a lot of cool behind the scenes, cool tutorials for you guys and all that stuff, because it's going to be a film that's kind of a parody, a mashup of all these basically famous movies, right? All kinds of genres, all kinds of, so this way I'll be able to like really do different kind of lighting styles, different cinematography styles, different editing styles, different special effects, and we can have a lot of cool, like I said, behind the scenes footage for you guys and tutorials, all that stuff. And I think it's just going to be a fun film to work on, and it's kind of basically based on this movie trailer that we did, this fake movie trailer titled Ultimate Movie, which if you guys want, I can show you guys right now, or at least a part of it. So
it's got over 3 million views on YouTube. So it's like the spoof. Yeah,
so here it is. It's like the intro, and it's kind of like I said, it's you guys can watch the whole video. It's the links are in the description of this video, so if you want to watch the whole trailer. But it's just basically how it's as you can see right away, very silly. It's kind of a kind of a funny murder scene, right? So this is how it starts off, and it's hopefully you guys catch the parody or kind of what we're trying to mimic, because this is, like I said, a parody of a whole bunch of different classic films. So
now we did this video for Indie Mogul, and so one of the purposes of this video was to try different lighting setups, like very different styles. That's why there's no matching from scene to scene. It's different, just to use it as a teaching tool.
Yeah. And anyway, so this is how it's going. This is how the trailer thing, and then this is a whole intro where they're talking. So maybe I'll put up the audio and let you guys watch a little bit.
Chuck Norris? No. I'm calling in the ninjas.
Get ready for a movie of epic proportions.
Yeah! That's right! It's the wrong ball!
It's got action. It's got comedy.
Alright, so a Chinaman and a ethnic individual walk into a bar.
Suspense. There are breasts.
I give up.
More breasts.
Am I getting fat?
There are even ankles.
So yeah, so this is the trailer. Anyways, as you guys see, hopefully you enjoyed it. And like I was saying, it's we're planning to do that. I guess we kind of decided we are gonna do it. This is gonna be our next feature film, and we want to do it with you guys. So get everybody online here involved. So if you guys have any questions to us, whatever, let us know in the comments.
There were a couple of questions regarding that. The first movie is like, what was the budget? So you want to reveal the budget?
What was it, like 45,000 or something?
No, it was
altogether.
Middle 30s.
Oh, okay.
30, about $35,000, and most of the money went for
the film stock and film developing.
That's pretty much,
Everybody worked for free. We got like all these favors, like building the sets and all that, like all that stuff. For example, with the airplanes was like basically we did this. When you see the airplane full screen, it's actually a 3D model, but when you see a close up and the actors inside it, it's this little just basically section of the airplane. Maybe here, I think I have it with the. You guys can kind of see. This is us shooting one of the action scenes.
This is somebody's backyard.
Oh, see, this is the part where, yeah.
Or a lot of cheating. Oh.
So you see, this is just a close-up. So because I couldn't go any wider, because you could see then that the rest of that airplane was actually not there, right? So that's kind of how, like I said, how we did it. And this is my brother here getting shot. And this is.
I died in many ways.
Yeah. And these are just like friends of ours that we asked to come out and things. So we had cast actors in the main roles, but aside from that, yeah, it was just friends, family, basically, that were coming out and that were basically acting in our film. They had like mostly the non-speaking parts, right?
Here it's a house not far from us. We just went basically to a random house that looked like they had a good backyard, and we just spoke to this person, the owner, and he allowed us to shoot. This big scene that was like, the climax, it had the most actors, the most extras. That scene.
I'm like watching Vince Salonia here.
So this is somebody's backyard. It was a pretty nice area because, we didn't have to worry about anyone,
Can't believe I put Vince through that.
Oh, yeah. And
this is for the opening of the film.
I'm sure Vince still thinks, how the hell, why did I let you do this to me?
You see this camera here? That's the Auray 60mm. We got some R-rated content, behind the scenes content.
Yeah.
And this is again in front of the facade of the thing. It was fun. Like we were young. We was nice. Like I said, hot summer. We were shooting our first feature film. Was for sure exciting. As you can see, we're goofing off. And there's, like I said, it's the way to make a movie, right? Just have fun with it. What else can we say, Anna? Any other questions we have there?
Why, or do you prefer shooting on film versus digital, or why do you prefer? I think somebody assumed that you prefer to shoot on film versus digital.
No, so it wasn't so much that I preferred. It was just literally at that moment, like I said, in 2002, that was the best image quality that we could get with the money. Because anything other than that, like we decided to not shoot on film, we only had other options, which was video, which just looked horrible, just standard video, like SD. Now video is completely different. It looks amazing.
Well, the video that we have is the camera that we used for the behind the scenes was that best camera we could have.
Yeah, which was SD, and it was like you guys saw the quality was not very good. But the other option was the only other digital film camera at that point was the Sony F900, and it wasn't even that great when you compare it. Like it was better than SD video, but it didn't go close to film. I don't think, and it was basically super expensive. It was impossible for indie filmmakers like us to get it or get into that. So that's the reason why, why we ended up shooting it on film. We got all these uniforms. I remember we bought them like online or surplus army stores, like things like that. We got, and but it was definitely a fun project, and it was also we learned a lot on this project. So you can see one of the actors here.
So how are we going to do things differently on this movie? What do you think?
On the next film, I guess we're gonna bring in a lot more knowledge after many more years, right? Because this has been 15 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see here. This is one of the airplane sequences. So you can see the close-ups is with the fake kind of a cockpit, and this is me basically building a cockpit. I kind of designed it all, and it was done actually to scale of the original Hawker Hurricane. You can see all the measurements I did, and then I built it out of like plywood and stuff like that. I had my grandpa kind of help me with certain details, And yeah, it was kind of like I said, it was a fun project, and we really did it, like I said, for no money, as you guys can see. So I would say the way we're gonna do it now is it's gonna be a little bit bigger budget, right? Obviously, but also I think it's just gonna be using a lot of the better techniques than what you see here. Like seeing here, it looks like the Flintstones. Our actors' legs are sticking out there, and to make it look like the airplane's moving, I just had my my assistants, friends, basically helping out and moving that thing.
And Tom did all the effects.
Yeah, and that's where having visual effects experience kind of came in handy. So you guys can see here, like this is kind of the almost finished rendered animation, and here a cut with the footage now that we shot. So kind of how we did it. We even had a scene where the airplane hits the ground and kind of sliding on the ground, so we put it on the back of a pickup truck and we just drove like crazy off-roading with this. So it was fun. So like I said, so some of the things we're gonna do are gonna be very similar, very practical. Like I'm a fan of shooting a lot of things practical. So we're gonna try to do as much of it practically, and basically do it like do-it-yourself techniques, kind of again like what we showed you with our first feature film. So this way you guys can kind of follow along, and you can see what kind of stuff you can get. What's going to change now is obviously we're going to use the latest technology. So we're going to use latest software, latest cameras that we can get. But again, cameras that are within a budget, I would say that's accessible again to most of you guys. We're not going to be going with some like Red Epic or something, or Auray Alexa. So that's kind of what we're that's kind of what the goal is, right? What we're planning to do. So we're gonna let you guys know also, like when, if you guys want to participate in there and all that stuff, how you can do it. We might even have some people, maybe invite them to the set, so they can be maybe in the film or help us. Like if you're an actor and you just want to be in the film, or if you want to help us on set. We'll post all that stuff. All that info is probably going to be on our website, on our YouTube channel too, and on Facebook. But just
Well, in terms of so let's so when we do make that movie, what would you guys like us to share? Like, what do you think you could, would be of most benefit to you, or just, in terms of entertainment or learning? So, like, just if you have ideas, what you would want to see from us, then that would be really helpful so we know and we can prepare. And because I mean, part of it why we are doing it is to use it as a great, it's potentially this amazing teaching tool, right?
Yeah.
So, if you have any specific ideas, like, guys, if you could do this, that would really be helpful, interesting, then let us know.
Also, I would say, if you guys have questions, let us know right now in case our computer crashes again. So let us know any questions. We can answer it, because if not, then I would want to wrap up the show and kind of figure out our technical difficulties here that we had. But yeah, like I said, we're excited. Like I said, doing another feature film that's ours. Like I said, it's always different. It's fun working on other people's films. Well, especially when I'm working as a DP, I'm there on set, and it's you're still a part of the production. But working on your own film, telling your own story, and doing it right from the beginning. Because as a DP, you're kind of there. You join right before the production starts. You kind of talk to the kind of in pre-production. You kind of plan out certain things, but after that, you're pretty much done. When the film is done shooting, sometimes I'm involved in color grading, but a lot of times I'm not there for the whole stretch. For us, doing our own film, that's the cool thing, right? So, So anyway, any questions we can answer?
From Clint D'Souza, do we need a director?
Maybe assistant director, Clint, or our associate producer. For sure, we want you to help us. Clint is a filmmaker. We worked with him a few times already, and he's a really talented filmmaker. So I'm probably gonna. I'll get you working one way or another, Clint. I don't know about the pay. Like I said, pay is probably going to be all you can eat pizzas.
Wow, that was the thing with our first movie. I wanted to, I look at our budget and I figure, okay, so how do we feed people, and keep it within the budget. So calculated, and so if you buy these pizzas, you can save a lot of money. And I didn't take it into the account after 5 days of eating pizza. Even if you change up the topics, it still feels like the same thing.
And the film took us 2.5 months to shoot.
Wow.
So there was a slight break in between, but it was over that whole period we were eating pizzas. It was just
we had a 2-week principal photography, and then it was broken up more. During those 2 weeks, it was a lot of pizza. Not for 2 months. Over 2 weeks, it was too much pizza.
I just remember that now I'm slowly getting back into pizza, but for the longest time, I couldn't eat pizza. But okay, so maybe show some of the submissions.
Yeah.
We got some
Okay.
submissions. I'll kind of go through it. And the first one is how to win a fight. And I'll just kind of let you guys watch it. And then afterwards we can maybe talk about it. By the way, this is the first time I'm watching this too, so. I like the little
Step one.
graphics and the.
Hit first. Hit hard.
You can
Make
see
it
right
count.
away it's getting.
Step 2. Go for the head. Your feet are for calibration. Use them to buy more time. When facing an opponent with no obvious weakness, go for the eyes.
This reminds me of Fight Club.
Get up.
This is
Fight
who's
me
the
like a
director
man.
of this project.
Step 3. Cheat. Don't fight clean.
Fight
You won't
me.
last long if you do.
Get up, son.
I don't have the answer. Okay, and did he say anything like how we should shot this or anything like this?
This version was fast-paced.
When strangling someone, tuck your fingers in so they don't get broken.
Filmed it all in one evening.
So is it all done one evening, kind of fast-paced? The director said. What else? No info about what it was shot with. Actually, I like the quality, like, and the lighting. I'm guessing it's using just available light there, but it works. It works, I think, because it has that kind of it has that look of Fight Club. That's kind of what reminded me. The only thing I would say is for my taste, I would maybe the color grading was pretty good, but I would maybe, I don't know, I like kind of stylizing, kind of adding a little tint to the shadows. I know Fight Club had that kind of tinted shadows, so I would have maybe added a bit more of that, but otherwise, yeah, it was pretty cool. So great work. And again, next one here we're gonna show you. This is in Mood. So maybe I'll put down the music a bit. And director Z. And well, maybe I'll just let you guys watch it. I'll kind of watch it to myself.
Yeah, I could say I never crossed on my eyes or dotted all of my T's. Kept you around no matter how much you scream. Was committed to a limit. Pushed me away, but I still came back. Didn't care what they say. Many times I was hurting. Cause you was flirting while I was working. Don't understand why you wasn't certain, but attention is the cause. Cause when I don't give attention, that gives you reason to go open up the doors. Forgetting all of the things that I did that was opposite from bad. Can you tell me what this is? Did you think about the kids? When you taking them pictures, sending out good night text messages, did you think about the years that we put into this love? All the fights and the nights, do you care? I don't really think you care. I don't really think you. Life is so funny. You say that you love me, smile in my face, then go flirt with your hubby. I am your husband, he is your hubby. Feeling this pain, going right through my tummy.
So I really love the use of the projector in this one. How, like you see here, it's projecting the images onto the singer, and then on the background, and then there's some other shots there where it's just projecting it on the background, and then there you see the outline or the shadow of the singer. So I think it's a really good use of that. Like, I think being creative with lighting in any way, and like especially here, see you can basically we make it look like a much bigger budget video, because practically all it is just a white wall here, and you have the singer and one light. And as you can see with that, because if you create, if you prepare really good images that you're going to be projecting, then with that you can add a lot of cool stylization. You can also make the lighting very kind of dramatic, because you can, again, just depends what colors and what kind of images you project, right? So even though, like I said, it looks like a fairly low budget video. I mean to me, I'm estimating it is, but I'm saying it doesn't have that low budget look. It's just, I'm guessing, or this, even if it wasn't low budget, this could have been done on a fairly low budget. So
It was shot on Canon 60D. The video is from Zachary Cooper, and yeah, he just wanted to get feedback from us. He's asking how he can step up his, cinematography and just overall his production. And I mean, yeah, I really like the shots that he got. It's just it's very repetitive.
yeah, exactly. So I would say great job, and you have nice shots here where you basically really utilize this projector, and you got two really cool shots. I would just simply say try to get more shots. Like like I said, this footage you projected is good and all that stuff. If you got like a few, maybe two other scenes, then I think it would have been really cool because, like I said, with just you want to change it up. Like I would say for the first like 20-30 seconds of the video was good. After that, you want to maybe transition to a different scene, and then you can always go back to that, right? But just kind of change it up. It could have been another scene with a projector, but maybe slightly differently. Maybe that's projecting right in his face. Maybe he's on some kind of couch or something. Just think of something, another scene, or just again something completely different. But that's the only thing I would have said. But otherwise, great job, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at first when I was watching it, I thought it was like a big budget thing. I was like, oh wow, this looks cool. And then I kind of clued in. Oh, it's just he's using a projector, and that's why it looks a lot bigger than really than the budget has to be. All right, the next video here is called Good Enough.
It's a short
and
film.
it's a short film, so I'll let you guys kind of watch it.
They need to be special. I need to show her how much I care.
She's just using you, man. Everything has to be so perfect. Hope you got her orchids.
They didn't have the orchids.
She's gonna rip you a new one. What'd you end up with?
I got the best they had. I got her some roses.
Dude, that isn't gonna work.
It'll work. She's not like that.
It's not good enough!
I did it. I did it.
Did what, man? Slow down.
I bought it. I'm gonna do this tonight.
You didn't get the one she wanted, did you? That's crazy.
No way, man. That's more than I make in a year.
Oh. Wait, what did you get then?
I followed the old saying and I spent a few months' salary.
I don't know, man. She isn't coming.
That's not good enough!
I don't know, man. Something isn't right. She's never here.
You need to find out. You're gonna drive yourself nuts if you don't.
I know, but how can I find out? I don't know what to look for.
Check her browser history. Grab her phone when she's in the shower. Find something.
So yeah, I really love, like, for example, this shot here, like the lighting and like using the kind of shadows there on the background and kind of that strip of light and this nice slow camera move. I mean, I think the film, like you see even those little like candle lights in the back. Like, I think most of the shots look a lot bigger than I guess what the original budget was. Actually, I don't even know really. Was it a big production or not? Because I mean,
It doesn't sound like it. The movie is from Scott Bolcom, and yeah, he pretty much did most, like he did. He was the director, DP, editor, colorist, sound.
oh wow.
So he,
I love the color grading. So a great job on that.
And he wanted to know overall feel of the video and was there enough of a story.
And here, like with the reflection and like, there's a lot of really cool ideas. Like a lot of cool ideas. I liked the film. I mean, I wasn't 100% in love with, I would say, with the story. That's just, but the way, the story being what it is, the way it's delivered, I thought it was delivered in a good way. I know you were thinking, was it
Like visually, it looks very good. It's I don't think the story is good or there's enough of a story, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, the main problem is the protagonist has to. You don't want him to be passive, and like you want him to at least try to do something. Didn't feel like he fought back, against the evil.
I guess that's one thing. Yeah.
Even if he fails, you just want him to see him fight, right?
Yeah. So yeah, great job, Scott.
Visually, very good.
Really cool thing. I guess, like I said, it's just, when it comes to stories, it really depends on. Everybody has different tastes, right? So, for me, like I said, there was. It's not so much that I didn't like it. It was, I don't know, there was something missing for me. And I think now that you said it, that maybe the protagonist, like, he needs to have, at least see him try. He's so, I guess he is too passive. Like, he's just kind of like, okay, while his wife is, you know. So it almost, you know, I guess, you know, I'm trying to be honest, that at some moments when I was watching it for the first time, I remember I almost kind of was thinking, is it supposed to be kind of funny? Because he's like, his wife is all over him. So that's the only thing I would say. Is like, I didn't really take it like, you know, like if I saw him respond more, then maybe I'll be like, oh no, like this is dead serious. So, but otherwise, I mean, like in the end, I think it's, you know, the way it's produced, and overall, I think you did a good job. But just, I guess, I don't know, when it comes to story, just it's, some people maybe would love it. I don't know. I guess we weren't as big fans of that.
Also, something that we were struggling with maybe on our earlier projects was like, make it clear what genre it is, and in a way, I also was thinking that is this like a basically, is this all this sarcastic, you know, basically portrayal of of this or not? Because the guy didn't seem real. Like in real life, you would feel like the guy would, I don't know, you know, he was too passive, and too, I thought he needed to be more active and so on.
So that's story-wise, but the way it was actually produced, like in the opening shot where the camera pans, you know, and kind of the cranes and everything, like a lot of nice production value, the lighting, the color grading, I think was on point. Like at least, you know, something that I really like. But I guess maybe anybody else who's watching, you guys can let us know too, and what you think.
In terms of, you know, storytelling, you know, just hearing two guys talk about it, it's not much use, right? It's really, you want to pull a large number of people, then you can get an idea of, okay, you know, this works, doesn't work, and so on. Because it's so, you know, I'm sure you guys have, you know, read reviews of films you love where, you know, reviewer was very critical, so, you know, it's like,
it's just our opinion when it comes to story. And like I said, like you know, if there's, for example, certain movies, like let's say genres maybe that I'm not a fan of, and if you will show me a movie from that, it could be an amazing film, but if I'm just not a fan of that genre, I'm gonna say I don't like the story, right? So it really just comes down to also what kind of films you like watching and stuff. But like I said, I didn't think the story was bad. I just thought it was missing something. That's what it was, and it was a little bit confusing the first time watching it. Is it supposed to be serious or like sarcastic humor? That was the only thing. But otherwise, I thought right away, like I was blown away with the thing. So I guess we don't have any details about how it was shot, what it was shot with, and nothing.
No, but you know, since it was, you know, one person doing a lot of the,
I'm guessing it was like a low
small,
budget.
You know, low budget. So so considering everything was a really good, it's a really good video.
Yeah.
So
great job. Thank you guys for the submissions. And again, if you guys want to, anybody else there, you want to feature your work, then make sure you guys submit it through our website. I had people like contacting me left, right, and center on Facebook and whatever, and they're like sending me links to things, and I cannot accept it that way. You guys have to go through the website. There's a whole thing there where you have to agree to us using your material on the show, and you have to provide us the links that are either YouTube or Vimeo, no other links. So guys, please, we're getting, you know, I know there's a lot of you out there who want to show your work, but please do it through the website. And how to do it, the link is again in the description of this video. So I think that's it, right? We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, guys, it was fun, and I'm just gonna leave you here with some more images of like behind the scenes of our film, and hopefully you guys are, or maybe I'll even just show you guys the trailer of our first film that we did, which is, keep in mind, it's it's the movie's old now, right? It's 15 years old, so
it has not dated well.
Yeah. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy the show, and again, apologies about the little hiccup that we had. All right, see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
You're one of the Canadian pilots stationed here. What planes do you fly?
Hurricanes mostly.
Wow, fighter pilot.
Relax. Okay, we're here. Yeah, behave yourselves.
I've been hit. I'm going for an emergency landing. It's the feeling of helplessness. And then I open my eyes and realize what is really happening.
You should keep this to yourself. You don't want to get yourself locked up in the loony bin. Well, at least then you wouldn't have to risk your life in this carnivorous war.
I'd rather risk my neck than be locked up.